I bought 2 LEGO Star Wars Captain Rex Microfighters, and my goal is to combine the 2 LEGO sets. However, I'm only going to use the pieces from the 2 sets, no extras. Which means, if you really like my mock, you can build it yourself. And yes, there are instructions at the end of the video on how to do that. In total, this took me around 2 hours, but I'll give a brief summary of my thought process when building. For starters, I obviously built the 2 figs, which is kind of cool apart from the fact they aren't worth much anymore. Anyway, I started by having a quick look through the instructions so I could kind of prepare for the build. Although, since it's 2 very small sets, there was nothing crazy I had to worry about. I started by making the frame of the ship, where all I really did was double the length of each step in the instructions for the first few pages. Next, I made a start on the front/side sections, which turned out to be a massive problem, as I had to somehow double the length of the side details with limited pieces. I continued with the front section, trying heaps of different building techniques for the next half an hour. And after little success, I opened bag 2 to see if there were any pieces I could potentially use, which turned out to be very helpful, which you'll see later in the video. After drafting the design for the front, I actually decided to put that section on hold and fully open the bag 2s and make a start on the boosters. Now, you might be wondering, why didn't I finish the front section? Well, I had the design for the front all done, but I wanted to make sure the piece I used from bag 2 wasn't needed anywhere else. So I began with the boosters, which obviously were pretty easy. Then came the most difficult part. So I finished with the boosters and all I needed to do was the front section and the top details. Well, remember the bit I used from bag 2 at the front? Yeah, I had to use that piece for the boosters. Big problem. Anyway, the next half an hour consisted of me trying to change the boosters to get that extra piece for the sides, which was actually a lot harder than it looks. After all that, I fully finished the front, sides and boosters. Finally, all that was left was the top details, which really should have only taken me 10 to 15 minutes, but since I'm really picky on the little details, it ended up me taking about half an hour. And after all that, here's the final product. Starting at the front, we've got the little guns, exactly the same as the original. And here's the dreaded side section, made up of so many different little bits. There's some slopes and a nice trans blue piece towards the front. Then, that piece which I ended up using from bag 2. And the tile shooter, which I used for details rather than its play feature, which actually look really good and fit well with the overall aesthetic of the mock. Here's a little look at the underside and there's nothing too special going on. Only notable detail are these little trans red tiles, which literally serve no purpose, they kind of just chill in there. Anyway, flipping the mock over again, here's some nice details on the top. Really take some time to appreciate all these details, as I spent a long time changing and experimenting with them. Moving back, we've got the 2 boosters, and there really isn't much to say about them, aside from the fact that they're both identical, and that you can easily detach them from the ship. Lastly, one of my favourite little features in the set is the cockpit, where obviously you can fit Captain Rex in, but the best bit is the little gap here which perfectly fits his 2 guns. I can shake this ship upside down and the guns will not fall out. So that's the review done. I'm really happy with the mock and hopefully you all like it too. And for those who really like the mock and want to build it yourself, here's some instructions. So that's the mock all built, pretty straightforward. Hope you all enjoyed, hope everyone liked the mock, and for those who bought 2 of the sets to make my mock, thanks a lot. And that's about it, I'll catch you guys later.